Top 10 Poverty Research Topics. Effects of divorce and poverty on families. Divorce has become very widespread. It is often associated with a rise in depression due to losing a partner. In cases where the parent cannot provide for the children, kids are forced to leave school and help their parents. Sometimes they even have to live in the streets. The causes and consequences of these issues can be addressed in your essay on the topic. Impact of poverty on college education in the USA. In your essay on this topic, you can focus on how the lack of education affects poor employment and low income. According to various assessments, poverty rates range from 10% to 21% in the U.S. Low economic status leads to poor education, as many can't afford the high cost of education in colleges and universities. Low education level, in turn, propagates the continuation of poverty over the generations. World poverty and ways to alleviate it. You might start your essay by defining absolute poverty. According to the World Bank, it implies living on less than $1.25 per day. 1 billion children, every second child, live in absolute poverty today. 640 million lack proper shelter, 400 million have no access to safe water, and 270 million need access to adequate health facilities. In your essay, you can address these issues and analyze the measures proposed to solve them. School system, poverty and education. While some argue that education is the key to ending poverty, others refute this claim. From the conflict theory perspective, education shows inequalities, as noted in race, class, and gender relations. Thus, it is directly responsible for advancing inequalities when equal opportunities are not provided for learners. What do you think about this? Explain your opinion and add examples. Poverty and violence during the Mexican Revolution. In an essay on the topic, you might address the causes and consequences of the Mexican Revolution and the poverty that it catalyzed. Poverty and violence were significant during the Mexican Revolution, 1910 to 1920. Deep socioeconomic inequalities and poverty among the rural and urban populations fueled the revolution. The resulting social unrest and political upheaval led to various forms of violence. Modern slavery, human trafficking, and poverty. Though most people believe slavery is in the past, it still influences contemporary society. Governments globally ought to work together to create measures to curb modern slavery. In your essay, you might want to address the efforts that should be put in place to facilitate access to education for all children, particularly those from low-income families. Poverty and welfare policies in the United States. An unequal income distribution between the South and the North states is the primary reason for the increased poverty in the U.S. Southern states remain the poorest, with 37% of low-income families living there. What social reforms are effective in combating poverty? What to do with the high cost of social programs? These issues are definitely worth studying. Household energy use and poverty. For many contemporary people, it is hard to imagine living in a house without a constant energy supply. Energy is needed to lighten our homes, prepare food, and keep us warm. However, for many families, the lack of energy for household use is an everyday reality. What strategies do governments use to deal with this problem? How can they be helped? You might want to focus on one of these issues in your paper. Poverty from a sociological standpoint. Understanding poverty as a sociological phenomenon is possible with the help of cognitive dissonance theory. According to it, poor people are also experiencing cognitive dissonance. To reduce it, people change their attitude towards poverty. They consider it not as injustice and inferiority but as something temporary. Analyzing poverty with the help of this theory is just one option you might use in your paper. Poverty from functionalist and rational choice perspectives. In your paper, you can compare these contrasting perspectives. From a functionalist perspective, poverty is actually a helpful social phenomenon that stimulates people to work hard. It is also a way to maintain social hierarchy and provide opportunities for social mobility. The rational choice perspective, in turn, focuses on the individual decision-making processes, suggesting that individuals look for ways to maximize their well-being. Find more research topics on studycorgi.com.